I constantly get the same questions in my live streams and in comment sections. Aren't you too old to succeed in esports? Why choose a game that is completely dead or at least dying? How would you be able to provide for your family playing Overwatch? Instead of sounding like a broken record, I wanted to make this video. Why Overwatch 2 and not a different game? For those unaware, I actually chose Overwatch 2 intentionally. Having never played Overwatch 1, I had no previous experience and therefore no expectations. I actually started with Apex Legends, where at one point I was among the top 50 Pathfinder players in the US. Apex Legends is an awesome game, but I eventually found myself not enjoying it anymore. Video games are meant to be enjoyed, so eventually I stopped playing Apex. What I fundamentally enjoyed about Apex Legends is the fact that it is a hero-based game. That left me with a few primary options to choose from: Valorant, Paladins, League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, and Overwatch 2. League of Legends is a great game with a thriving esports scene. That said, I grew up playing League of Legends and I have zero desire to go back. The reason being is that the community for League of Legends is more toxic than Chernobyl's air quality. Valorant is another game with an incredibly successful esports scene. However, for me, it is far too gunplay focused for it to be enjoyable. Rainbow Six falls into that same category for me. And Paladins just appeared to be a low-budget version of Overwatch 2. So I tried out Overwatch 2 out of the whole list. And I gotta tell you, after my first game, I was hooked. I'm not sure there are words to express how much I really enjoy this game. Even when I'm on losing streaks, I still fundamentally am enjoying myself. Why did you swap from support? When I first picked up Overwatch 2, I needed to pick a role. Of course, at first I thought that everyone just played every role. When I was playing support, I tried out Baptiste, and I fell in love with his playstyle. I loved his ability to both do damage and support his team with healing. At the start of my journey, I was actually a support main and a Baptiste one-trick. I eventually started to branch out into other heroes like Ana and Moira. Yes, I said Moira, hate me all you want. At least I wasn't a Mercy OTP.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Anyway, as time went on, I found myself not really enjoying support. After considering the reason why for a while, I realized it was just because support had lost its challenge for me. So after trying it out for a bit, I swapped to tank. I tried every tank hero in the roster with the exception of Doomfist and Wrecking Ball because I value my sanity, but no matter how many times I tried branching out, I always gravitated back to Zarya. See what I did there? Zarya for me blends being a tank with the part I enjoyed most about support. Bubbling your teammates to save them and get stronger at the same time is so evil. Eventually, I of course realized that Zarya is not the strongest tank, unfortunately, but even as I've branched out into other tank heroes, I still find myself enjoying the role much more than I did on support. I'm sure me unironically telling you that I enjoy playing tank makes you wonder if Blizzard is off to the side of the camera right now holding a gun to my head. No, they aren't. How do you keep a stable mind as a tank main? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure some days. Admittedly, I'm getting sick and tired of being the most counter-swapped role. Every time I play Diva well, the enemy team immediately swaps to Zarya, Moira, Symmetra, Mei, and whatever else can screw over a diva. That said, I do actually have a process I'm developing to help me maintain a level head. FYI, this can benefit all roles within Overwatch 2. Staying tilt-proof is a very big deal for me because the ultimate goal I have with everything I do is to reflect my faith into the world. Personally, I am a Christian, and I don't think that screaming at my teammates angrily is very Jesus-like. I started out with the idea of just reviewing a VOD after every 2 consecutive losses. That honestly just seemed to tilt me worse somehow, so I stopped doing that. Then I started to catch wind of this magical concept called taking breaks. Now I have an almost ritualistic approach to this. For every 1 hour that I queue, I take a 5-minute break. During this break, I walk away from the computer and do something else. I also take a week off every 4 months just to get a mental reset. These breaks have an immense value long term, even if in the short term they slow my progress a bit. Who are your favorite heroes to play? On support, that would be Baptiste, Ana, and Juno recently. On DPS, it's Tracer, Ashe, Symmetra. Last but not least, on tank, that would be Zarya, Winston, and Sigma. Honestly though, Reinhardt always brings me a twisted sense of joy. And before any of you say it's because I look like him, no. If anything, I look more like Torb, shorter than average and a little pudgy. No, there's something about screaming big slam in the middle of using my ultimate on Reinhardt. My Reinhardt obsession aside, I would truly pick Zarya every single game if she was viable. Why did you pick Zarya out of all the tanks to main? Oh, you mean besides the fact that she's an attractive muscle mommy?
Who are you talking about?
No one, honey. I love you. Anyways, to expand on what I mentioned earlier, it's the way that she plays. One of my personal playstyle preferences is pressure by damage. Holding a shield or positioning a shield well isn't all that fulfilling to me. Of course, I could have just played DPS, but that would have been far too simple for me. The balance of bubbling at the right time and then doing damage in between is addicting. Why don't you just pick insert overpowered hero here and rank up quicker? This question's answer is a very big one, and it'll give you a really good insight into my actual goal. I'm not just trying to rank up as fast as possible. I want to be a truly well-rounded player regardless of my rank. I'm happier being a well-rounded platinum tank than I am a masters player who used Malga on competitive release. This is part of why I believe that rank is not the best measurement of a player's skill.
Fake laugh, hiding real pain.
There are so many other factors that play into your rank that you can't fully control. So in order to compete at any level towards the OWCS, I need to be a good tank player. I can't just rely on there being an overtuned tank to play during the competition. Why did you shave your head? Let me just put out there that 3 years ago, I was planning to grow my hair out. Yeah, that aged like milk. In all seriousness, the answer really isn't that complicated. Hereditarily speaking, I knew that male pattern baldness was coming my way. I mean, I started having a gnarly widow's peak back in high school. I gotta tell you, I enjoy the fact that I can comb my beard and be set for the day. How do you plan to pay the bills doing this? You're looking at it right now. Content creation is ultimately my long-term goal. I've been creating content since my very first live stream on January 20th of 2018. I plan to lock in and continue focusing on creating the very best content that I can. What comes after you compete in the OWCS? I'd love to create more entertaining Overwatch content and maybe a little bit of coaching mixed in there too once I've gained, the knowledge to actually do that. I also know that I'll expand a bit on this channel after the OWCS. I hope to bring games like Apex Legends as well as other hero-based shooters into the mix. Maybe I'll even mess around with Marvel Rivals at some point. Aren't you too old to succeed in esports? The question I knew from the beginning of this journey would come. In short, no, I'm not too old.
How do you do, fellow kids?
There are plenty of esports competitors who have been wildly successful in their late 20s. Are we as fast with our reaction times as the 16-year-old kid on Adderall? No. However, are we more capable of self-discipline over a long, sustained period of time? Absolutely. It also depends on what success looks like for the person that you're asking. For me, placing in the top 50 teams of the OWCS is a massive success. It's going to be a challenge, especially without a clear roadmap to get there. Fortunately for me, I have one, and I actually shared it in this video right here, which you should watch next.